How's it going? My name's Goodis. I'm a freelance fly fishing and landscape photographer here in Vancouver, British Columbia, and this is another backstory. So this photo takes place March 22nd, 2014, Upper Squamish River, and it features one of my good friends, Zach. And from what I remember, we had basically fished the whole day, and we were driving all the way up towards the Ilaho confluence, where the confluence or where the Ilaho hits the Squamish, and then fishing our way back down. And we had fished a bunch of runs. I don't think we caught anything that day, and then we were basically driving back down to some really kind of known water, which is right around that 26 kilometer marker. And then we wanted to stop and fish a couple of spots there. So it was late in the day, and from what I remember, we had basically gone down this bank. It was quite a like steep bank here, and then he walked across, and there was a really nice run way on the other side. This was just a side channel here, and of course the mountains were reflecting in that side channel and just making for quite a beautiful shot. And of course I missed that shot because it all happened so fast, but because I was taking a lot of photos at that time, and all my buddies were really okay with me basically asking them, you know, could we just maybe redo that? And so from what I remember, I think I'd asked Zach, could just walk back across and just wait for that reflection to come back and the water to settle and just walk back across. And so he did that, and I took a bunch of photos, and it was really nice. It was such a great shot. And then he came back across, and that's the second image that I'll show you in a minute here. So I got basically him going across and then back across, and I did one in black and white, one in color, and both these images have been featured many times over the years. So they've been really good images. Now, the only downside to this image, from what I can see, is that I didn't notice at the time, but I cut his rod off, and I would have loved to have just probably pushed him a little bit further to the left, and then that way I wouldn't have cut the rod off, because to me, I just noticed that it's kind of a flaw in the image, but otherwise, I don't think anyone else ever noticed it. And because he's really centered to the right side, it's a perfect for a double page spread and just a really nice shot. So that's basically the backstory. It's pretty quick, this one. For both images, I used my D300S camera again. That was the main camera that I had at that time. And then I used my wide angle lens, which was the 10-24 f3.4 to f5. So that was the wide angle lens, and I usually had a polarizer, but I think at this point, because I was hand holding, I didn't have a tripod, and the light was getting low, I probably took the polarizer off. And one thing I will say is that when you have a polarizer, it obviously cuts down the light. It would take away about a stop of light, and when it's really low light, that extra stop is exactly what you need to potentially hand hold a camera, an image. So that's basically what I did. So no polarizer, just a UV filter and the 10-24 wide angle lens, shot at 10 millimeters, so super wide. I was right tight right there. And so this shot was actually at ISO 250 at f5, and I was shooting at 1/80th of a second. So fairly quick enough to freeze the action, but just enough to, you know, basically handhold the camera. The next shot, which I'll show you right now, is the color version, and him coming back across. That one is awesome. The only downside to this one is that he's almost right in the center, which for framing for like a double page spread in a magazine pretty much doesn't work. But it's a single page, it's really nice, and it can even be cropped, but it's just, he's got that great reflection here, and of course you can see the rod, and you can see how it's kind of in that blue hour, which is really nice. Yeah, and so I shot this one again at ISO 250. I shot it at f5, and I shot at 1/60th of a second, so a little bit slower. The 10-24 f3.5 to 5 and the D300S, that was one of my go-to setups for a lot of my fly fishing work at that time. And if you like these types of videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.